YouTubers, this is Emda, and recently I got this Moga Pro controller. It is a Bluetooth controller for Android, and I was excited when I first got this controller. Unfortunately, my excitement for this controller turns into disappointment when I tried it on PSP emulated games on Android. I first tried it with Project Diva 2, and I immediately noticed the delay on the clicks and sometimes even fail to register the buttons. So I thought, I want to objectively show how much does this Bluetooth control add on the latency and the consistency of the presses. In this first test, I'm going to use the Opsu app on Android, and I'll be playing the metronome beat map. I'll be closing my eyes to remove the visual factor. And the great thing about this Opsu app is it shows the performance on each run. I will be repeating these tests for 10 times for each controller, then finally removing the outliers, meaning truncating the best and worst results. We're gonna get 8 data points, and when we graph it, this is gonna be how it looks. And so, the orange color is the runs using the Moga Pro controller, and the blue one is with the wired. We can see that the average for the wired is 31.35 milliseconds, and the Moga Pro average is 56.33 milliseconds. If we subtract the two values, we get that the Moga Pro controller on average adds a 25 milliseconds latency on the button presses. Now you would say 25 milliseconds is actually not that bad, but that is just a frame and a half delay. But the bigger problem of the Moga Pro controller is actually the consistency of delay, and sometimes it fails to register the button press completely. So to test that, we're gonna have this second test. If you saw the Opsu report earlier, there's another value below the error. It is called the unstable rate. Basically, the smaller the value of this unstable rate, it is the more you are consistent you are pressing it. So for this test, I'll be choosing the song from DJ Max, which is called Lady Made Star. And the beat map that I'll be choosing or difficulty is Illuminous Superstar. Same process, 10 runs per each controller, remove the outliers, and we get the data again. 8 data points, and when you graph all of those, we get this graph for the unstable rate. So in conclusion, the Moga Pro controller adds 25 milliseconds delay, and from the test that you saw earlier, it's really not consistent. So if you're planning to play rhythm games on Android, I'm not going to recommend a Bluetooth controller. Rather get a wired controller and then use a USB on-the-go adapter. It's going to be a much better experience. But if you're playing non-demanding games, which doesn't need a lot of timings and precision, like strategy games, turn-based games, or maybe slower-based action games like, let's say, Grand Theft Auto or racing games, I think the Moga Pro controller is good enough. And that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, guys.